Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and there's only 2 more sleeps until we go for the 147th running of the Kentucky Derby. It was all about Tis the Law and Authentic last year. This year, throw your hat in the ring because there's probably 5 or 6 possibles. And I'll tell you what, you're going to get unbelievable value. I'm going to take the favourite on. First of all, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means I'll notify you and you'll not miss any content again. Now we're going to have a nice little pub chat without the alcohol. Well, one of us will have alcohol and the other 2, we wish we had alcohol. I'm going to be joined by BlackJack Fletcher and Danielle Moinet. Danielle, welcome. And I'll say you are the king and queen of American racing.
That is true. We're the ginger duo you never knew you needed. BlackJack does not look like a redhead, but he is redheaded indeed. When I met him, I was very shocked.
Yeah, it's
well,
not
does he
natural.
dye it? Do you dye it, BlackJack?
Flash, there's nothing about me that's natural. It's all artificially enhanced. So, yes. And credit to you for recognizing our status in the sport of kings. We rank amongst the greats in this sport. So, really, credit to you and SBR for putting us on the show.
Yeah, I was told to say it. Danielle tweeted me privately and said, remember, I am royalty.
Yeah, I said, you better bring it or else I can suplex him. Let's be honest.
Exactly. She's waiting for the tiara and the big crown. Now, listen, we've got My Kentucky Home being played on Saturday evening. Gets the 120,000 normally, BlackJack. Not going to be that this year.
How many will it be? Like 20,000?
I mean, I think they're saying something, be 25, 30,000 people, which, listen, is going to look like a ton of people considering what we've been through over the last 14 months. So, I'm just glad we're having a derby back in May, not in September like lunatics, and that there's going to be people there and there'll be a crowd and you'll hear it and feel it. And it'll feel like the Kentucky Derby again.
For sure, Flash. We were at the Florida Derby and there was 2,000 people there. And I thought it was like 20,000 people. I just hadn't been around 2,000 people in so long. And I kept saying like, oh, I can't believe how crowded it is. And then I finally asked the guy who keeps the grounds and he goes, there's 2,000 people here. What do you mean? I'm like, I can't imagine 25,000 people.
Well, racing people are very superstitious, and there's every chance that you've actually seen the winner of the Kentucky Derby already. Todd Pletcher's known agenda winning the Florida Derby, the only Grade 1 prep race or proper Grade 1 prep race. This is how we're going to go down. We're going to have a little look at the start positions. Not yet, Esteban. We're also going to go down and have a little visual at some of the main contenders. And I'm going to ask BlackJack and I'm going to ask Danielle what they actually see. And then we're going to see if there's any value. And if there is horses that have a good price, but we don't fancy them, we will crab them. We will. We have to get rid of the losers. To find the winner, we've got to get through the losers. Almost like finding your prince, you've got to kiss many frogs. Well, we don't want to kiss the frogs. We want to throw them out. And we want to do it very, very early. Okay, Esteban, put that screen up. BlackJack, what's the first thing that jumps out when you see the post positions?
I'm disappointed that Known Agenda got the 1 hole. I don't think it's not a crushing blow because of his style. I think that Irad will work a trip out for him. I would have obviously preferred to have Essential Quality sitting there, but he's not. I think Hot Rod Charlie got a great draw in the 9 hole. That's perfect for the way that horse wants to run. I know that one of Danielle's favorites, Soup and Sandwich, I like in the 19 spot. I think that horse is going to break with speed. I don't think that's going to be a concern in that long run up to the first turn. So those are the ones that jump out at me in terms of impact from post position.
Okay, get rid of that then, please, Esteban. Danielle, it's going to be an absolute cavalry charge. And I fancy there's going to be maybe 7 or 8 horses wide going into that first turn. The good thing about Known Agenda being in the coffin box, which is obviously stall 1, is that he's surrounded by rags.
Yes.
Right. Right. So I was telling BlackJack after seeing, I do love Soup and Sandwich. Let's see how many times I talk about Soup and Sandwich today. But after seeing how she was racing, coming out of the gate extremely hot, the whole time BlackJack and I were like, there's no way she's going to be able to keep on. So
we were hoping he did, because we had a nice little pick 6 going that day, and he was on it.
He really was. So seeing how he was coming around, I really do think coming out the gate strong, 19 isn't too bad for him. But yeah, I don't know about Known Agenda being at the 1. How do they pick the pole positions? How does that happen?
It's just it's a random draw. But again, normally, if you'd asked me 3 years ago, I would have said if you're drawn out wider than 13, 14, you've got no hope. But last year, first and second, but they come out of 17 and 18. Well, so being drawn in a car park, but the pace looks like it's 12 and upwards.
Yeah, and I think that you're right that most of the speed is going to come from there. I wouldn't be shocked to see maybe Brooklyn Strong try to go and see if he can, make some noise up front, or some of those lesser horses. Someone may try to go there. But I think you're right about the speed being on the outside. And I think the important thing to note about Known Agenda in the one hole, Flash, is that it's not quite the death sentence it was when they were using 2 starting gates, right? They've got this new gate now where it's 20 horses in one gate as opposed to 2. So he's a little bit further off the rail than he normally would have been a few years ago. So that's a benefit to the one.
Yeah, Essential Quality and Rock the World side by side, exactly the same as the first and second last year. I mean, we could Danielle, see the two of them fight it out up the straight.
Yeah, I mean, we love Essential Quality. When we were in Kentucky, I love how we talk like we are just have the same opinions, BlackJack. But
we do.
Yeah, he obviously it's the ginger.
Well, Danielle tells you the opinion.
Listen, I'll follow Danielle's opinions to the end of the earth. So
it's definitely something we tried betting the same, and then we got on the same pick 6. Oh, Flash, by the way, did you know we won the pick 6 at the
Flash.
You won the pick 6?
Flash, this girl's first time at a racetrack. She hits the pick 6 on Florida Derby Day. She turns to me and goes, "Can you imagine if we hit one every time we go to the track?" I'm like, "You have no idea how hard it is to do."
If you hit one again.
You have no idea how hard it is.
I couldn't believe it. We won $3,200, $3,300 or something. And so then when we were in Keeneland, I saw that the pick 6 was worth $300. And I'm like, what a horrible pick 6. And everyone was like, $330 is a lot for pick 6. I'm like, no, honey, $3,300. Like, so I'm a little bit of a diva, I think, maybe. I definitely got my way with that first.
Yeah, I'm quite interested on how the split came there, because obviously if you've won $3,300 between you, most people would say that that's around $1,650 each. I don't fancy it was 50-50, BlackJack.
Well, we actually had a third partner in this.
So
okay. we did split it. We did split it evenly. It was a beautiful moment. It's captured forever on film.
Special.
So Danielle has already texted me about the pick 6 on Saturday.
Yeah, I had to get to perfecta. I had to know what we were doing, but we did like Essential Quality. We did really like that horse and the energy that it brought. I mean, not too fast out of the gate, but what pole position is Essential Quality at, you said?
He's at 14. He's got no problems there, as long as horses don't come in from his outside on his right, and horses don't cause him problems, basically messing the race up. Esteban, can we have a little look at Essential Quality's last race? And Danielle, you can tell me what you see in this bit of clip. So he's on the outside at the moment with Highly Motivated, and the two of them just pull clear.
Wow. And what bend is it? Is this the final bend?
Yeah, this is coming up the straight.
We were at this race at Keeneland.
Oh, we were here. This is great. I mean, yeah, like right here too. It's so close. And I always think I know who's going to pull out front. It's very interesting how he comes a little further away from him, huh? And doesn't stay in tight. I almost feel like he was wasting a little energy, but pulls it out here, right? Yep, pulls it out.
And Flash, there was a point there, and I think you saw it, and Danielle, I know you did because we watched it live. We were at the finish line for this.
Yeah.
There's a point there where it looks like Highly Motivated's got him. Like, he looks like he's got him. He pulls a half a length ahead and looks like, and Danielle, you said it, Essential Quality kind of drifts out a little bit, and you think, all right, this horse doesn't have it. And then I don't know whether I personally think it's a combination of Highly Motivated tired and Essential Quality re-rallied. And the end result of that is you look at that and you say Essential Quality wants 1.25 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially coming off of the pace that they came off, because it was just a duel from almost like start to finish. I mean, the guts, we cannot crab him, okay? Essential Quality, unbeaten. Great stature, coming from being a Breeders' Cup winner as well. And he came late in the Breeders' Cup as well. But this next horse we're going to look at, BlackJack, is going to be Rock the World. And the way that Rock the World, remember, this is only his third run, and he's won all 3. The further he goes, the better. and he seems to just enjoy it. And he gets quicker in the last furlong and a half, Esteban.
Yeah, I mean,
what are you seeing, BlackJack?
It's an interesting ride here because, as you said, he's got this race basically under control from the get-go. He's out front. But it's right here when you look at it and you say, okay, maybe he's going to take some pressure, that he seems to pick the pace up and find something else in this last eighth
when
of a
he
mile.
lengthens in that last furlong, it's impressive.
He does. My only concern about Rock the World is, well, there's two concerns, really. Number one is he is so lightly raced, right? So, and that we've seen in years past, recent years, that's not a huge thing anymore. You can win this thing having had a few races. Bob Baffert's done it, a few times. But the bigger concern for me is, does he need the lead? Because if he does, I think he's going to have to spend more early in this race because, like you said, there is speed in this race, and he's right in the middle of it, right? Essential Quality is going to go to his left. Highly Motivated to his right is going to go. Soup and Sandwich is probably going to show some speed. So if he's got to be lone speed, I think he's in trouble here. Now, we don't know because he is so lightly raced. He might not need it. And he's got the right guy on him to rate him if he needs to.
So you think he's more...
Danielle, do you think that maybe we might see a little bit of a different tactic and maybe just let maybe a couple go ahead and he'll just ease his way into the race, saving his legs for the end?
Maybe, but I honestly don't think that's how he works. It seems like he's super motivated when he doesn't see anyone around him. Does that horse ride with blinders or no? I don't even know.
Well, the interesting thing was like a furlong and a half down, he gives it a crack. He's already got the race completely and utterly in his control. He gives it a crack. He changes his legs and then off he goes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was really impressed with it. I think that we could get Essential Quality beat, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is Rock the World. Now, BlackJack, I'm going to let you go with the next one because I know that this one is close to your heart, maybe even closer to your pocket. Esteban, can you put up Hot Rod Charlie, please?
Hot Rod Charlie, as Danielle and I know, is running for the president of ABR, Stephen Panis' son, was tragically killed in a car accident. Doug O'Neill has very graciously put the logo, which you see on my hat, on the horse's blanket. I love this right here with Hot Rod Charlie because he is nose to nose, eyeball to eyeball, and he finds something in the stretch. And Flash, we talked about this on Monday. I love a horse that has been challenged and finds more because you're going to be challenged in this race. This is not a race where you're going to walk around the racetrack at, 24-3 and you're going to just get home. That's not going to happen on Saturday. I love the fact that this horse seems to relish the challenge, that he likes it, that when someone gets there and he looks at him, he digs in a little deeper. So I like that. I think that Louisiana Derby field was probably the second best prep race we've had this season. I think that people kind of crap on a little bit, but I don't think rightfully so. Like you had quality horses in there. And I think Hot Rod Charlie is a horse that is not going to shy away from having horses all around him. I think it's going to make him dig in a little bit. So I like this horse a lot. Yeah,
and he's probably got the pick of the draw coming out at 9 as well because he's going to be able to see if they go too quick. He can pull in. I just see that maybe he's going to have quite a few things in his favour. Danielle, we're going to have a little look here at Super Stock. And the thing is with Super Stock, he's going to be in third place when we pick up the footage, Esteban. And if you're watching a race, this is what you love to see. But then you question what he's actually beaten.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at what this horse did in this race, it's a nice run to be sure. But Concert Tour here, this was easily the stiffest challenge he had. And I think he flattened out here a little bit. And Super Stock made a nice run and picked up the pieces. We talked about this the other day, Flash. You can have this horse. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I'd be relatively shocked if he managed to win this thing. Danielle, we've talked about this race a lot. He's not one that comes up in conversation very often.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, to be honest. Yeah. So, I mean,
have you just put a line through him? He's not in your 4.
He's not.
Oh no, I would get rid of him.
They're only getting rid of a Kentucky Derby contender. I love that. Yeah, Super Stock out.
Yeah, and plus he kind of is trying to be Soup and Sandwich with the name. I'm just not about that,
Yeah, it's all about the S's. Listen, I've got to agree.
Yeah.
I've got to agree with you. I think that he's going to run up the back of horses. I think that the winner's going to have flown. I just don't think that he's going to have the quality. So yeah, I'm happy to go with you and get rid of him. Now, this next bit of footage, I'm going to speak over because I absolutely love this. And at 12 and 14 to 1 earlier on in the week, we said it won't be there on Friday. And well, as God damn it, it ain't there. It's like plus 700 at best, Esteban. Get Known Agenda up there because I love this. Known Agenda is down on the rail with 2 target horses. He's in 4th. And here you're thinking, oh no, he's going to get boxed in. He's still running a bit green. He's still not going forward. And then all of a sudden, he's pulled to the outside on the bend. He rolls around a little bit, still with plenty horse under him. And remember, this is Todd Pletcher. I read Ortiz Jr. And then watch this. The further he goes, he wanders and sticks his neck out. Look at his neck go out in the last 100, 125 yards. Yep, look at him. Right, he wants to please. I will run for you. And it's like, and by the way, just as they both said, the King and Queen, it was the Florida Derby. It was the Grade 1 Florida Derby. Now, I cannot get away from Soup and Sandwich, Danielle. Tell me why you give this horse a chance and why it will be in some of your bets.
Well, first of all, with Soup and Sandwich, she's so new. Like, he's only ran, what was it, 2 times, 3 times? Yeah. And so just the longevity of the horse, I think this is only the beginning for this horse and what we're going to see outside of being the prettiest horse with that silver coat and that he has. The thing that was really impressive for me was he held his pace straight out of the gate, extremely fast. And I said, okay, well, there's no way that he's going to be able to keep that pace, keep going. And then here we are turning the final corner and he's still there. We could not believe that Soup and Sandwich held its own. Who was it? Jose was riding him? Ortiz?
No, that was Johnny V was on him that day. V. Tyler Gaffleone will be on him for the Kentucky Derby.
And this is my only bone to pick, Flash, is that when I get a number 2 from Chick-fil-A, I want the chicken nuggets, I want my drink, and I want the waffle fries. So I picked Soup and Sandwich for the early win. What's his trainer's name? His trainer came
Mark Cassie. Danielle took a picture with Mark Cassie, spoke to him right after the Florida Derby.
Cassie, right after, and I go, Soup and Sandwich, the Derby. It's my Derby pick. I'm calling it now. Well, here we are. Tyler Gaffleone, which is great. Great jockey, but that's not what I picked. That's not what I signed up for. I don't want to get rid of my waffle fries and throw in a Frosty. That I want my number 2 that I saw. So I love Soup and Sandwich, but I don't know if I love that combination of horse and jockey.
Yeah, and obviously then you've got to look at gate 19. He's up against the real stars of the show on paper or just on his inside. Is he going to have to run wide? Is he going to have to burn up too much too early, BlackJack?
I think that here's the thing. If you like Soup and Sandwich, the thing to like about him is, as Danielle said, he's lightly raced and he's improved in each race, right? Yeah. In that Florida Derby, he had speed throughout the backstretch. And when they were making that turn for home, I'd be lying if I didn't say, all right, this horse is going to start going backwards because he showed a lot of speed early, but then he was able to find more and still finish second, hold off Greatest Honor for that position. I was impressed by the horse. And I think there is room for improvement, right? So that's, if you like him, that's what you like about him, is that there's still, the ceiling is high enough for him that he can get there. The concern is Tyler's going to have to get him out of that gate quick and get him over. Because the 19 hole is fine and he's got enough speed to break, but he can't be 4 wide in that first turn. Like, he's going to have to find a spot and tuck in. And listen, Tyler Gaffleone is a good rider. We saw him on War of Will 2 years ago, deal with traffic. I mean, Maximum Security kind of played bumper cars out there, but Tyler knows his way around. So I'm not as concerned about Tyler being on board. I just think he needs to find his spot. I think you'll know in the first turn whether this horse is live or not.
Yeah. And too, like with his speed, I mean, I think Soup and Sandwich can keep the speed, but he's not a Belmont horse. Like, he's not going to go.
No, I don't think he's at 1.5 miles.
No, his speed's insane, but it's not a longevity horse.
And Flash, you talked about Known Agenda, the winner of that Florida Derby, and we talked about him being in the 1 hole. I keep coming back to one thing. he's got the best rider in the world on his back.
Absolutely.
He's got Irad
Oh,
Ortiz.
I can see him creepy
and
tactics.
If anyone can negotiate this trip, it's Irad Ortiz.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I mean, he finds holes that, like, I mean, that's
Start
what
there.
I said, but like, it's crazy. Like the way that I go, there's no way and he waits till the last turn. I mean, Irad's enough to make your blood pressure just go through the roof. And so it's crazy. I told BlackJack, I said, what's he doing? What's he doing? Get him out. And he goes, just wait. And he finds a hole. That day, he probably came around the last turn 3 times, didn't he, BlackJack? At
Irad, we talked about this on Monday Flash. I don't think there's a better rider in the stretch of a race than Irad Ortiz at getting more out of his horse. When he goes to that left hand, he finds something. He finds something else in these horses. And Known Agenda, I would expect to be upper mid-pack in the backstretch, which is exactly where Irad's going to want him. And when something opens up, he's going to push him through it.
Yeah, and he's got a horse that wants to take him through it. Now, before we go and start nailing this down to our winners and our seconds and thirds and maybe even a super trifecta from the Queen, if we go to sbrpicks.com/triple-crown-2021, everything you need to know about the Kentucky Derby, it will be over there. So press that button. Now, I've got with Rock the World. I'm happy to go with Rock the World just because I think he's value at 5s. Some people go each way knowing that he could be in the first 3 and some will play like the first 4. But I definitely had a Known Agenda at 12s just because of Fletcher, Irad Jr. and the horse that wants to give and could be anything, Danielle. Who's going to be? I'm going to give you, say, $20. Who's going to be your first horse to come past the post?
I mean, I have made such a fuss sandwich on social media that if I don't go with him, but I will say, like, Known Agenda does feel really right here. Maybe because I know the most about him. But I have to, my pride doesn't let me say no to Soup and Sandwich. And also it's more of an underdog, so I'll probably win more money if he wins. So I think I would go. Am I only saying my first now or am I saying my top?
Yeah, so who's going to win for you, Danielle?
Soup and Sandwich. Ugh.
Soup and Sandwich. Well, we've dived straight in, haven't we? We've just dived straight in. Listen, I think you get bigger than the plus 3,000 on the day as well. You could really, listen, if that comes home, that's going to be another Bourbonic.
Yeah, but listen, I play safe, so I'll bet like 900, like all the horses. Let's be honest, when I'm out there.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And the thing is, if you are getting over or around plus 3,000, then just have it to show, BlackJack. Surely.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think if you're going to bet Soup and Sandwich, and here's the thing, right? Like a Soup and Sandwich would not be my top choice to win this race, but I do think that there is an excellent chance that he hits the board just because of what we've seen from him. I think he's a gutsy horse. I think he's going to go there and he's going to hold off some other ones that are coming late. If you're playing a try or a super, you've got to use this horse in the back end.
Yeah.
Wow. BlackJack, give me your winner.
I am torn between the 1 and the 9. I think ultimately the 1 is your most likely winner here. I think Known Agenda is just a horse. And Flash, we've talked about this now a couple of times. He's green as anything, which means he's still, if this horse can develop like the way, I kind of look at like Improbable, right? Like you remember Improbable as a 3-year-old was a little bit of a head case, couldn't break right, had issues in the gate. And then he became more professional later on and was a really tough out. I think if Known Agenda can just get a little bit more professional here, and, not drift out the way he does and maybe, not have that awkward style at some points. This is a horse that we haven't seen the bottom of yet. There's more left in the tank here. Best rider in the world. One of the top 2 or 3 trainers in the world, a Hall of Famer in Todd Pletcher. It's a horse that looks like could absolutely do this. As you said, in the final few hundred yards at Gulfstream in the Florida Derby, this horse is still digging for more. I think that's what you want to see in a Kentucky Derby winner because this race is not going to be easy. So you want a horse that's eager. You want a horse that wants to go out and do it. Mm-hmm. I would gun to my head, Known Agenda is my top pick here.
But could you see Known Agenda winning the Triple Crown?
No, I would be.
No, I don't see any horse. I think it's too wide open, Danielle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Too wide open.
Too talented a 3-year-old field for there to be a Triple Crown winner. Now, listen, you never know. Horses get knocked out. They get scratched. They don't race in the other ones. You don't know. Right here, sitting here today, I'd be stunned if we had a Triple Crown winner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think listen, I think there's more chance of Nelson getting his eye back than us seeing a horse win all 3 this year. There is no justifier anywhere near this lot because they are talented, but they're all, you could throw a cloth over them all on any given day. And that's what makes this race for me. So you're going to get great value. I don't think we're going to see anywhere near under 200 for the favourite. So that for me, that means we can definitely get him beat. I'm going for Rock the World. And the reason I'm going for Rock the World is just because of the way that he quickened. And when he got the old shillelagh hit, boom, he was just going at the best at the trip. So I'm going to go with him. And also, he can eye up the Main Danger and maybe be taken into the race by your Soup and Sandwich. Now, if we need one to follow our selection home, who's going to be your second one, Danielle?
It's Known Agenda. I would have to go. I mean, I'm almost going to have to flip them, but I should go with my gut. So yeah, Known Agenda, of course.
BlackJack?
I'm going to take Hot Rod Charlie in second. I think that horse has got too much heart to really be far back in this. I think that horse is going to be right there in the second spot.
Yeah, and I'm Known Agenda. I mean, obviously taking the 12-1 to obviously be each way first 3. I don't mind if he comes and beats Rock the World late on. I just really love this horse. And another thing we've not mentioned about him, because he is a little bit inexperienced in the way that he runs, this is going to be his 7th run. So he would have seen most things. He would have been on the lead. He would have been taking a lead. He would have been bumped. That's right. He would have been having to be patient. So he's battle hardened. He's still improving to the naked eye. Okay, so now we're looking at a trifecta, and this is where we've got to start digging or scraping the barrel, Danielle. I know that you don't really want to be scraping no barrels, but you got to give me a third horse to follow your first 2 gems home.
Of course. I mean, I think this is the best ticket where I definitely don't have to scrape a barrel because I could easily go with Hot Rod Charlie here or Essential Quality. But yeah, I mean, I think the races that I've won the most in is when I pick a horse that I feel more connected to. So, of course, because of the reasoning of Hot Rod Charlie, I would have to throw him up there. And I just think the jockey, I think, knowing what the purpose of this race is and how much it means to America's Best Racing and Steven, I think he wants to ride it a little different. So, yeah, I'll take Hot Rod Charlie.
Yeah, Hot Rod Charlie is already in your top 2. So who's going to be top 3? Are we going to now get the favourite beaten, but he still comes home?
Yeah, that's where I'm going to go with Essential Quality in third. I can see this race unfolding with Essential Quality kind of poking ahead in front at the top of the stretch, and then 2 of them going by him and dueling it out at the end, whether it's Hot Rod Charlie, Rock the World, Known Agenda. I think you can have 2 of them go by him. I would put Essential Quality pretty locked into that third spot.
Yeah, I'm going to probably go with Essential Quality as well, even though Hot Rod Charlie I didn't go with in my first 2. I'm probably going to go with Essential Quality. But the big one I want to say is that I don't think there's a length and a half, 2 lengths over the first 3. I think with 50, 60 yards to go, we still don't know who our winner is, Danielle. So I can imagine you're going to be going absolutely bonkers, especially if Soup and Sandwich is in amongst the 3 or 4 of them.
I mean, I'm just so mad that we're not going to be there. But then again, too, we have to be live on the stream. Yeah. So I feel like I'm still watching it through a computer screen, even though I'm there. But yeah, this is just such an incredible race with how much talent is here. And that is what, to me, thinks that Known Agenda may really well do it here, just because of IRAD, just because the pack is going to be so tight coming down that final stretch. And him and his brother just always find a way to, even if they get to the outside, getting back in. Is Jose riding a horse? Actually, he must be, right?
Jose has a mount.
He must.
No, he's on one of the rags.
Yeah, he is.
Interesting.
So don't even worry about him. He's having a run round.
He's on Dynamic One.
And that's so interesting too, because I'm like, man, he's just such an incredible rider as well. Like he always does well in my bet.
You have to realize Jose would have been on Greatest Honor had he been entered into this race, but with the later scratch, he was left with Dynamic One.
Right. But what an incredible time. Do you think this is the most stacked Kentucky Derby in the years, or was last year?
Most open, I would say. Not stacked.
In a long time. Yeah, in a long time, this is one of the more open races, because generally coming into this race, there's a favorite that most people either love or, they try to beat. I listen, it's hard to knock Essential Quality, right? Like, he's run really well. It's hard to find fault. I just don't think this is an unbeatable favorite by any stretch. And I think there's a lot of horses, too, that, Flash, if people are playing a super, the other Mark Casse horse, Helium, I don't know how you don't throw that horse in. That horse is going to go off at pretty damn close to 50-1. This horse is undefeated, right? This horse has won a very nice maiden special up at Woodbine in his first race, came back to win an allowance race, won the Tampa Bay Derby. Like, this is a horse that it's hard to find flaw with this horse. And you're going to get odds of 50-1 now. Do I think he's going to win? No. But could he be? He's another one of those mid-pack horses that likes to come late. Yeah, could he pick up a piece and get you 50-1 at the back of your super? Yeah, he could.
I'm just sorry about this, but I've just had a sort of not premonition, but I'm wondering, Danielle, on Saturday afternoon, will you be getting dolled up as if you're going to the races?
Well, funny you say that, because I was just thinking about, where did I put my hat from the Florida Derby? Y'all,
of course, the lucky hat.
My hat, this is the smallest screen right here. My hat was the biggest thing you've ever seen. It was like probably one of the bigger ones I chose. And it is the biggest hat box. And I have a small apartment. And I just was going, where did I put it?
How can you not find it? It's got to be the largest thing you own.
It must be under the bed. So I think I'm going to have to wear that, though I'm like re-wearing a hat. But yeah, very, very interesting. Good point. And now I'm going to go look at it once we get off the call.
And also, we could get the old live of you like watching it. You can imagine it like a live Insta or a live Twitter for the 2 minutes 25, 2 minutes 30 we're going to see, and soup and sandwiches coming around. It would be absolutely pandemonium.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because we're going to be you'll be on the live as well, right, BlackJack? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be on the America's Best Racing live feed for the afternoon of the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, so I'll put it on live on my Instagram and let everyone see what a nutcase I am.
Yeah, that's perfect, especially working alongside the king of American races. Now, listen, it gives me the time now to say thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means I'll notify you. You never miss any content again. And today it's been so enjoyable. Myself and Danielle. No alcohol. BlackJack. Alcohol. Danielle, I wish you all the very, very best, not only in on Saturday, but obviously in everything you're doing. And BlackJack, you're a lucky man. You're a lucky man to be working. You're a lucky man to be working in such an arena.
Can't disagree with you there, Flash.
Okay, until next time, that's both Danielle Moinet and BlackJack Fletcher. And this is the 147th running of the Kentucky Derby. May all your bets be winners, unless you're going with super stock. You take care.